Hello everyone and welcome to Miro's analysis on student behavior and performance. For this presentation, we'll go through the introduction about this research, the research question and methodology that we used, how we divided tasks as a group, and then we'll dive deeper into our analysis and findings using the help with our visualization. Finally, we will conclude the work and credit the references. In the education industry, it is said that student performance is shaped by various factors like sleep patterns, internet quality, study hours, diet quality, attendance rate in class, and participation in extracurricular activities. Here is our list of 6 research questions that we've chosen for this project. And the 2 main questions that we'll be analyzing deeply into the presentations are: how does the average exam score change with increasing study hours per day? And is there a point where additional study hours yield diminishing returns? As well as what is the overall pass and fail rate amongst the students? And what are the factors that might contribute to the observed fail rate? The methodologies that were utilized throughout this research are cross-tabulation, correlation and regression, as well as descriptive statistics with the visualizations like histograms, bar charts, and scatter plots to help with analyzing the factors that we mentioned earlier. These are the tasks that our team members are dedicated to. My name is Tris, and this is Miro.
Hi everyone, today we'll be sharing some interest findings from our project where we explore how student behaviors like sleep, internet access, and daily habits can affect mental health and academic outcomes. Let's start with our first questions. The question is, how does the number of students vary across different sleep hour intervals and how does that relate to mental health? We found that most students sleep between 6 to 8 hours a night, and this group also had the best mental health ratings overall. As sleep hours drop below 5, mental health ratings also drop significantly. So not only do more students tend to sleep in the healthy range, but it's also clearly supports their emotional well-being. This shows just how important regular sleep is, not just for energy, but also for staying mentally balanced. Let's start with the second questions. So the question is, how is the internet quality impact to the study time and entertainment time? Here we notice a clear trend. Students with good internet and had higher average study hours per day and spend less time on entertainment. But when the internet quality was poor, study time decreased and entertainment time went up. So internet access doesn't just help with getting online, it actually shapes how students use their time. If the connection isn't stable, it's harder to stay focused on schoolwork. For the third questions, what is the overall pass and fail rate and what might explain the failures? In our dataset, around 83% of students pass and 17% fail. When we look deeper, we saw that students who failed often had lower attendance and poorer diet quality. Also, those who didn't join any extracurricular activities were slightly more likely to fail. So it's not just about studying hard, showing up, eating well, and staying involved outside the classroom also seem to make a big difference in academic success.
For question 4, how does diet quality related to student attendance percentage? I used two data that include student diet quality rating and match with their attendance because I created a pie chart to explore this relationship. The chart showed that the student with a fair diet quality had the highest attendance rate, higher than those with either poor or even good diet. This result suggests that each student end of diet spectrum line offer to support consistent attendance. For example, students who focusing too much on perfect diet may experience stress or time constraint, while those with poor diet may lack of the energy or focus to attend regularly. A balanced and stable diet seems to support better engagement. The question next is, how does the participation in extracurricular activity influence on attendance? In my dataset, participation will respond as a simple yes or no question. I use a pie chart to compare average attendance between these two groups. Surprisingly, that The results show that the students who did not participate in extracurricular activities had a higher attendance rate than those who did. This could suggest that extracurricular involvement might sometimes conflict with academic responsibilities or lead to scheduling conflict, reducing class attendance. While activity outside of the class can be valuable, if this result highlight the need for balance and time management to avoid negative impact on attendance. The last question is how does the average exam score change with increasingly study hours per day, and is there a point of diminishing return? I used the dataset about the study hour per day and average exam score of students in this question. I used a line graph to show that the trend increased steadily up to about 6 hours of study per day, then later and even slightly declined afterward. This clearly shows that the point of diminishing return. Studying more doesn't always mean better results and can be lead to burnout.
So based on our data analysis, we've come to several key conclusions. First of all, the optimal number of study hours per day is around 6 hours. So beyond this point, additional study times leads to diminishing returns, meaning students don't see much improvement even if they study more. So secondly, lifestyle factors significantly impact academic performance. So students with healthier habits like better sleep, proper nutrition, and the extracurricular involvement tend to perform better and are more likely to pass. So finally, we observed that about 78% of students pass and 22% fail. So the main contributing factors to failure were poor attendance and low diet quality. So this show that academic success is not just about study time, it also depends heavily on physical and mental well-being. So from this finding, we propose a few practical recommendations. First, encourage students to follow a balanced and consistent study schedule rather than overloading themselves. Secondly is school should consider developing nutrition support and attendance monitoring programs to improve student health and classroom engagement. So, and the third one we recommend promoting extracurricular participation as it contributes to the better engagement and overall performance. These actions could help create more supportive environment for academic success. So to summarize, our team went through the full research process from formulating questions and analyzing data to drawing meaningful insight and offering solutions. We learned that academic success is multidimensional. It's not only about how much you study, but also about how well you take care of your health and manage your time. This project gave us a valuable opportunity to practice data analysis, visualization, and teamwork, while also depending our understanding of what influenced student performance. Thank you very much for listening to our presentation.
Actually, there's something more that I'd like to add to this presentation, which is the challenges that we faced in this project, which is figure out how to communicate complex relationship clearly through the visuals. At first, we had a lot of overlapping data points and charts that looks visually confusing. And for example, in the sleep versus mental health chart, both the student count and the mental health rating were plotted together, and it was very hard to distinguish the trends at one glance. To solve it, we applied the data communication principles that we learned in class, which is visual hierarchy and clarity. We separate the variable visually through color coding and dual axis plot, and it makes things way easier. Another challenge that we face is to choose the right chart type. So initially we tried using the line graphs to show the difference in pass and fail groups, but it didn't really suit the categorical data, so we switched to bar chart. It works like wonder. And overall, applying these data communication strategies help to turn a messy dataset into a set of visuals that are not only informative but also very easy to understand. And that's all I wanted to add.